All right, welcome back to Two Song Podcast. This is Chris.
And this is Cam.
And this is a show where we try and sort every song ever into one of two categories, either a love song
or a fight song.
Yep, exactly right.
And this is episode 118 of our show.
Yes. Welcome and or welcome back. And that little super short intro that you just heard is from a song called Doja Cat. Actually, it's just Doja, isn't it?
Just
yeah.
Doja.
So just Doja. A Doja Cat on the brain, I'll get to that in a second, but not like that, settle down. But I just mean, we did this song for a couple of reasons. But the song's about Central C, and it's just called Doja, but Doja Cat's mentioned in the song. And at the time we're recording this, there's some weird trend, I admit I don't understand, that is like if you play a certain sound by September 1st and manifest, and you'll get money. And Doja Cat started it. Anyways, but Central C is a UK rapper and a drill rapper. And it's interesting, I had heard a couple songs by him because I think he's getting pretty popular in the States. Maybe not as popular as some American-based rappers, but for a UK rapper, he's pretty popular here. And I heard a couple of his songs, I was like, dang, this is cool. Like, what's up with this guy? I looked him up, and his mother's Irish, and his father is Guyanese, so like South American. And I was thinking how funny it is to me, and unfortunate or just whatever, but he's multiracial. He's Irish and Guyanese. In America, he would be black.
Yeah.
Like over here, we're just like, yeah, that's a black guy. That's a black guy. That's a white guy doing rap. Well, we don't like that, but we'll tolerate it. And I'm just like, it's interesting that in other countries, they're a little bit more like, they have a little bit more room to like type out the heritage. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like because like a lot of the European countries are mostly white, and so they kind of have to just be more aware of it to make any distinction at all.
Oh yeah, huh? And probably that, and a little bit maybe they're just like, you could be from, as far as they're concerned, anywhere. Like you could be from the Middle Ages to now, so it's just all these countries have been here. They've changed names, a lot of them, but like just tell us like where your ancestors from. But yeah, I thought that was funny because I was like, well, why is not more UK rap popular here? Is it because like people don't feel like they have the exact amount or the same amount of street cred? I was like, I wonder, and I thought, no, I bet you if Central C were here, people wouldn't even think about like I think people think he was British before multiracial. They would just be like, yeah, this is where he's from. I don't know. I think that's so interesting. But
yeah,
the intro is like almost non-existent. It's like a second.
Yeah.
That's really short.
Yeah, it's not much. It's interesting, but very short.
Mm-hmm. It's just like a catchy little. It reminds me almost like of a ringtone or something.
Yeah.
Or like just like a notification. Just as much as an intro, it's just like a notification. Hey, the song's starting.
Yeah. And then he gets right into rapping.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say this song is pretty new. It came out as just a single on its own. It was July 21st of 2022.
Oh yeah, very new.
So he has other songs that are maybe more popular, but this one is kind of popular now and really new. So I wanted to do it.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, do you want to get right into it?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
All right. All right now.
Yeah, it's a cool sound, and it's mostly so far just that intro thing that we heard on a loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you kind of get to start hearing the beat come in after the first verse.
Yeah, and it's really choppy. What I love about this beat is it's so like brittle, and you don't really get to enjoy much. Like, you know how a lot of American rap and some UK rap that I've heard too is like gritty R&B. Like the bass line is all smooth and legato and stuck together, and the way it will like be tough is it will like do these weird divided, separated things that are kind of offbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, oh, that just sounds so good. This is musically almost like trying not to do that. It's like everything is so clipped and separated, and like don't let them be touched. Don't let the music ever meet each other.
Yeah, that's interesting. And his words are kind of like that too. Very staccato.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. From what I understand, and I like looking this kind of stuff up and learning it, but I do hate this period where I'm like, feel like someone's dad who's trying to understand their middle schooler. But from what I've read online, it's drill rap is a certain type of extra aggressive and extra slang heavy UK rap.
Cool.
And I guess we kind of have that too. Like we have in the States like different subgenres of rap.
Mm-hmm.
There's like alt rap, there's backpack rap, there's boom bap, there's like old school rap, 90s rap, even frat rap and stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I remember the early 2000s nerd rap had a real moment, but I don't remember all the different ways they describe UK rap, but I just know that I suppose drill rap is kind of like that, like
cool.
Tough and almost like a young like urban England like street gang kind of cadence.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask. So, appreciate it.
Oh, nice. I also kind of think this song came out semi recently, and the first thing I thought of when I heard it was the Drake line that he got borderline backlash for. I just think it's so weird to be like to use and funny, but kind of funny in like a shame on you kind of way, but funny to be like, you can't get me for this one thing that's bad. I'm too busy being this other thing that's not as bad but still bad, you know, or whatever. Like just that's the message I'm projecting onto him. You know, in a way you could say it's all bad, but like Drake had the thing like girls where I'm from. If you're a lesbian, me too. And people are like, dude, that's not cool. And the same thing with this, like, I can't be homophobic. I'm too busy being sexist. What the heck? You can't get me on that. I object. You know, that's my defense. I'm guilty of another crime.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it that way. That's very, very well said.
Yeah, and the other thing I like about this, because again, sounding like somebody who's out of touch trying to like Google every other word. I love the slang. I think the slang is so fun, and I think I mentioned that before, that you know I'm already a white kid from the suburbs. That I don't know what I mean. There's no such thing as regular rap, but y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rap that I grew up listening to, or grew up hearing, or grew up around. Mm-hmm. Already, I'm like, I'd love to know what that means, but I'm not gonna admit that I'm enough of a loser to look it up. So I'll just wonder. I'll just make up my own definition, hope nobody ever asks me, hey, do you know what that means? And I have to go, yeah.
Yeah, we all know what that means.
Dude, this happens all the time. It happens to me less so now, but you're ever somewhere where someone will say something and everybody laughs, and then someone will go, what did he say? And then the person that just laughed, you just saw with your own eyes laugh, goes, I don't know, I didn't hear it. Dude, I hate that. It used to happen to me all the time.
Man, what are you, just the not laughing person? Or are you the one being asked? Or are you the one asking what they say?
No, I will admit, if I didn't hear it, I will be the one asking. But all the occasions I can think of, I was one of the people that heard it and wasn't the one asked. And it was like far enough away to be awkward to be like, I'm in y'all's conversation, this is what he said.
Yeah.
Because then you're the guy that's just repeating a joke somebody just said, and like that person might hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, did you just say what I just said again? Why'd you do that? But to me, that's kind of like what slang and rap already is. Like, I'm not gonna admit I'm silly enough to look it up, and this is even a step further. I'm just like, dude, what is some of this? What is it? What even is it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know. So one I heard somewhere, kind of on accident. The next to last line, this first verse, the mandem, is just like the boys. Like,
nice.
And honestly, I got that one right. So I was just talking about I make up my own definitions and hope they're right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that slang was the man, them. Like, I mean, like the mans, my boys, my men. I don't know if that's what it is, but I did hear people talk about that's what that slang means.
Wow.
It's just the group of guys, the boys, the crew, etc.
That seems to make a lot of sense. Like, if it's specific to the UK, like the way you said that just sounds kind of British.
And well, thank you. And that's kind of why I was able to like talk myself into that.
Cool.
And it just worked out for me because I do that sometimes. And I'm like, way off. But there's other ones in here that I didn't look up and I don't know.
Yeah, the line that says, try see a man topless, even the stick is gay, that that confuses me. Like I feel like I know what's going on, and then that line happens, and I'm like, I can't make sense.
Yeah. I was thinking the only thing I could come up with isn't a stick sometimes slang for a gun?
Probably.
But that almost makes it less clear, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we identified one of the nouns, and in a way that narrows what it could possibly mean. That makes it harder to figure out what it means. And I'll say this, the other thing, I pick up on this, if I'm listening to an artist just now getting into him, and something specific like Christmas Day or Christmas Eve comes up, I'm like, you write about Christmas Day and Christmas Eve a lot. Like, I just always pick up on that. And he definitely does that. He has another song, it's like the third or fourth song down on Spotify, already talking about Christmas again, which is very strange to me.
Yeah.
Just little like things I notice, little motifs.
Cool. The man likes Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's a fun song. I don't know if I told you this, but I watched a movie that made me want to like get more into this. So I watched this movie on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original movie called The Gentleman. And there's this group of guys, they call themselves the Toddlers, but they're in their like late teens, early 20s, and they are like they're members of a fighting gym, but they're also like a street gang, kind of like picture like a UK street gang. Like they all dress the same, or they dress like coordinated, and they like dance, like break dance, fight porn, rap, all the above in this movie. They're not even like the stars of the movie, by the way. That sounds incredible already. Dude, that's cool. I'd watch a movie about that. They're only a small part of this movie.
Wow.
But it all takes place in England, and I was just like, dang, that music and that one scene's like kind of cool. I mean, it's dumb because the guys doing it are dumb guys. Like that's part of their characters, but they make bad decisions throughout. But I just remember thinking that it was fun, and I was like, dang, I wonder, like, of course other countries have rap. Let me look at, and I started like finding all this other stuff out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a whole new world. There's so much music out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and I was kind of thinking, I hope that it, like, I mean, obviously I don't want to take over. Like, let's chill. We have pretty good rap here. I would argue the best in the world. But I wouldn't be mad if it had a moment, like if or if we just incorporated it into what we already have.
Yeah. Or just like, accepted more influences from the globe. Which, I mean, in the song, the Armani White song that we did last week even, it had like a very Eastern beat. So maybe it's already happening, or like music from around the world is influencing, and as technology makes it easier to like sample that kind of stuff or replicate it, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, both. And yeah, like if more and more stuff is being archived all the time, especially old stuff, like certain things are. I mean, there's so much public domain that I don't think people even stop to think about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and more every day.
That's right. Yeah, some stuff ages out like constantly. So yeah, it's a great point.
Cool. I called what we just heard the verse earlier, but I guess it's more like a chorus, right? So we hear it 3 times at least.
Oh, good point. Yeah, one of the songs that does start with a chorus. But yeah, you're right.
Cool.
So I guess the next part is the verse finally.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's do that. Dang. So yeah, that's what threw me off. So it's Doja, no cat, but then Doja Cat is a person referencing the lyrics.
Right. Yeah. And I guess Doja does make a better song title. I think it has more meanings, more potential meanings. Although it's obviously as soon as you hear that first verse, that's where the song gets its name. And Doja Cat, as far as I know, can't really be anything else except for. Is Doja like a house, like a Japanese house?
Well, I was thinking about the origin of her name too, because dojo isn't dojo a gym? Like when people go and practice martial arts.
That's what.
And I was just like, so you just like mess with the syllable a tiny bit, but it could be other references that I totally don't get.
Yeah.
I think it's a neat way. I think this is a good sequel to the episode we just did. That's your idea, but I'm just agreeing with it. You texted me that because the song title was Doja, and last episode's song title was Billie Eilish, and it was a little bit of a way to like, if people listen to all that artist, maybe they want to like listen to fan fiction about that artist, and I would call this song by Central C a little bit of a fan fiction just for this one part, because it's like he put her name as the title, or most of her name, half her name, I guess, and then made a rhyme about her that I think he thinks is a compliment. It depends. I'd say it's up to her to
right. I mean,
accept it or reject it.
He did him just right at the top, pretty much establish some sexism or joke about sexism. I don't know if he's joking.
But I think taking it objectively, just as two lyrics, it's a pretty good rhyme because it works so good just with his accent, like Doja Cat. Like some people, especially in the States, wouldn't pronounce indulge the way he does.
Yeah.
But he makes it line up perfectly, and it doesn't sound forced like when someone rhymes a word that ends in AIN with again in English, like American, songwriting.
Right.
And they say again to make it rhyme. It's like, you don't ever say that word that way. But I buy it because his whole like accent is that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels natural.
It does feel natural. And then from there, it's a lot of like the same stuff, being young and virile and like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like I would indulge in that, but also she would, and she would enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to be like throwing it back when you're throwing it back. Like we had to get that twice. Like, sweet, thanks. Like we didn't get it and it wasn't crass enough the first time.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure we heard it. The last line, it's all very fast, but can't slip and let me know where we're at. Let them know where we're at. That's such a mouthful to just try to say, and he just makes it seem pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's, I would say, objectively good, and then maybe that's why I was into him and wanted to do stuff by him. Because, yeah, he's got, like, a certain quality to the way he raps that is, like, brittle and cold and almost emotionless, and it fits the beat. And then it also fits the style and, like, the pace, too.
Yeah, and a lot of those words you just use kind of invoked or, like, just justified the category of drill rap to me. Like, emotionless and fast and, like a drill sergeant. Like you're doing drills. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from, because I think it's also like a lot of lyrics and not as much like time spent on hooks and choruses and like breaks in the music. Yeah. So yeah,
cool.
And to me, it's typical, and it could be just typical of like guys at this level of success and in this lifestyle, but typical of like distrusting of women. And like, you know what I mean? Like, these women try to make me into a baby daddy and stuff like that. That's a common theme.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can think of so many rappers from like, earlier we mentioned a bunch of subgenres. I can think of a lot from all of those that have referenced something along these same lines. So, again, it's kind of funny just to hear the different slang and the way they describe it. Like, I think, don't like certain parts of the country in America, call condoms like different random slang things that make absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Like I've just heard them on TV shows and stuff. Like somebody will say something, I'll be like, and if there's not a prop there, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, isn't that like another word for sprinkles? It's like, no, they call them jimmies. They mean condoms. Some places call them rubbers. But I think he's grabbing a dome or out of the Trojan pack. So he wanted to like, I don't know. That's almost like for us to be like, so people get the reference.
Right, he went ahead and explained. Yeah, I guess. That's nice of him.
It was.
And it kind of, it fits in the verse. It's another rhyme for throwing it back.
Yep, I was gonna say that packing back. Yeah, nice. Cool. And to me, the beat gets a lot better in this verse, or I'm trying to think of where exactly it is. Yeah, like there's like these little. I mean, they're just blips. They're just like these little bass hits, and it's like. It's almost like it was played or timed out and recorded, and then like clipped to even be shorter than it is. It just sounds weird. It just sounds edited. And there's like a little like bass run, like a little bass like turnaround in the beat, but even that's short. Like it's not. It doesn't like the notes don't connect.
Well, yeah.
Well, if you want, since this song is kind of like lyric heavy, we can maybe go into this next verse. I think it's kind of cool to like tell the story in verses like on the middle, like, sandwiched in between chords.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's hear verse 2.
All right. Wow. This one has another like kind of really crass, but in a way you hate to give it to him. Like, oh, that's a pretty good like rhyme, pretty good lyric.
Yeah.
Like flight attendant and then attend it.
Yeah.
I'm saying the exact same. I can't help it. That's my accent, but a flight attendant and then attend the party.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, and it definitely works. It sounds good. Interesting. It's like this verse is a really quick bucket list. So he's talking about how he values life, and it's just interesting to see his goals.
Yeah, and another like celebrity, like baddie made it on there.
Yeah,
it's like if Doja wasn't enough, like they're just. I mean, I'm on the prowl. There's other people, you know. There's other prey. Jeez. And yeah, I guess Cardi B would be one. I think it's interesting a lot of times whenever like, not just like modern urban young people slang from England, but even like Cockney England, their slang is wild to me. It's like this language, as far as we can tell, originated here. Like, how come some of you absolutely, if your life depended on it, cannot speak it? Like in this line, or in this verse, he says, there's so much things I ain't done yet. Unbelievably horrible grammar. What an ugly sentence. But a lot of times in rap, you can like say things like that, and it kind of like proves to the fact of like, I never like fit in school, and I never valued a formal education. I got a different type of education kind of thing. But I just think it's so like it just sounds crazy in his accent, like in the part of the verse that it's in, and just like it just reminds me of Ali G. Remember the Sacha Baron Cohen character where he pretended to be a rapper?
Yeah. And
he went around and just pretended to be the dumbest person that ever lived. He did so many hilarious things, and he would like talk like that. Yeah. He would take like an extra millisecond to say a second wrong, just to like be funny.
Yeah.
And you would go like, how do people like understand his accent? And like in this country, we don't say sentences in that order. And he like did it wrong, like wrong. I really like the thing, and I ain't made 100 M's yet. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's just weird to me. So I ain't made 100 M's yet. And you're like, that's borderline like bad grammar, not how we talk. And he's like, nah. Just wait. There's so much things I ain't done yet.
Yeah. And that's a pretty cool goal to try to make 100 M's, I guess. But
yeah.
The other one's just a little silly in comparison.
Yeah. They both seem. Honestly, that seems like the easiest one. That's what I'm saying. 100 M's seems doable, but then like, if you're over there. And no one in this country yet, especially in like the entertainment business, knows who you are. Like Cardi, I don't know. Cardi's husband infamously cheats, so maybe I don't know. I don't think she would though. I'm saying I think Cardi B is good. Cardi B would be like, no, that's sweet and you're cute, but no. And the other one just seems impractical, borderline impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I was on a plane this past summer. And the floor wasn't even level. Like one of my legs, I had to prop it up, like on the wall of the plane the whole time. It was a tiny plane. It was miserable. Anyway, we don't need to like draw a diagram. We get into that. What we could do, I guess, is maybe play this next verse.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, nice.
Yeah, I like that verse a lot.
There's another one where, in this verse, where it's like his accent does all the heavy lifting. To me, the line is, "And would have I prospered?"
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the way he said it is like, "woulda have," like he stretches some of those words out so that it doesn't sound the way I just said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like he makes a contraption out of would I.
Oh yeah. I think so.
Would have I.
But it's cool to be like, just so everybody has the record straight, like in the Hall of Fame, on the Mount Rushmore, which is a thing they have in America we don't have over here or whatever. Don't leave me off UK rap and UK drill.
Yeah.
And it's cool to preface that with like, I've been traveling, I'm spending all this money, and I just miss UK while I was gone. That's like pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. He's like shouting out his home, but he's busy working and succeeding, I guess. Yeah, but like he misses it. So that's part of why I like it so much. Kind of, referencing where he came from and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Man, it's quick. It moves fast. Like there's no time between. If these are 3 separate verses, there's been no noticeable break between them. It just jumps right in.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think a lot of rap, whenever people, when the genre, the art form has just matured, people are like, well, some things kind of like got like ground away, like refined off, and then it seems like a lot of rap fans just love lyrics. They just love good lyrics. So every like person that feels like should be mentioned in the list of greats or tops or whatever will do a track or two, or maybe 1 track per album where it's just all about the lyrics. Like it's just almost too many lyrics, and you're like, there's really nothing else to this song. And his is a little bit that, like, it's a big chunk right here in the middle, but he does have the choruses. I don't know, and the song altogether is not that long. I think we both mentioned that already, but
like 1:37 or something like that.
Dang, wow. So yeah, it really does go quick. That's crazy. But I was just trying to like relate it to, songs like that are all just about the bars.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned it seems like a characteristic of this genre. So it's kind of cool too if that is, drill rap is kind of just like cutting out all the extra stuff, and you definitely get the beat enough, and it's not, a super memorable or interesting beat to want to like dwell on, in my opinion.
No, in mine too. I think you're right. I agree. These next 2 choruses, one's a little bit different. Like the very first one is like a little affected or edited. It's not as with as much gusto as the first one. Like he just comes in like, how can I be homophobic? It's the first lyric, and then these next ones he like, I don't know. It's almost like remixing his own song, but it's coming out at the same time. It's in the same song.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out. I think that's an interesting style choice.
Yeah. You ready to hear it again?
Yeah. Wow. So one of them was, the second line was like an answer, like an ad lib. It was like a little affected.
Right.
It sounded like almost like through speakerphone or something. And the next one was just like more like the very first time it came in.
Yeah.
And again, you just don't, with something like that where it's the same thing and it's not like reference, that the verses don't really reference the chorus, they don't time together. So we're left, you and me at least, we're left like wondering about some of the lyrics in the chorus.
Yeah.
Like, try to see a man topless, even the stick is gay. I just don't.
Yeah, still some questions, but maybe that's just ignorance or not being from there, not being in the genre.
Yeah, or both. Well, someone let us know. That would be a cool thing to be like, listen, it's super easy. This is what it is. We appreciate that a lot.
Seriously.
The one thing that like almost is just funny and not worth mentioning because it's so obvious is the thing about hugging my brothers and saying I love them, but I don't swing that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is such a thing. It's like, what's wrong with you and your friends and like how you grew up that like people would even like that you feel like you have to explain that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, when we hug, I don't know, like I know lots of guys that are cool that hug and then do cool hugs and cool handshakes and like they do it in a way that people be like, yeah, buddies, bros, two straight guys.
Yeah.
It's just strange to be like, I don't know. That's like an old thing from rap. You know, I just thought of this. This is like kind of behind the times. Like this is like what DMX was doing in the I don't even know, like late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm.
Like where the hood I think is the one people were like, ooh, he said I show no love for homo thugs. and people, you know, when people started to rediscover DMX, like young kids were like, whoa, that's what they used to be up to, like when DMX was in his prime. Yes, it is. And this to me is like kind of the same thing. Like I hug guys, and it's like you should hug guys. You're young, you're rich, you're in great shape. All these other things, we believe you.
Yeah,
Like to spend a long time with Doja Cat, like hug guys, I don't care.
Yeah, and I don't know. If you have to like say it and insist on it, excuse me, kind of like you keep saying like, yeah, we believe you. Okay, dude. Also, it doesn't matter. Like it's 2022. I just watched Theo Von's special, Regular People. So.
And he was quoting a very interesting statistic in that, wasn't
it? Yeah, well, I thought it was a made up statistic, but he also kept saying, we're all a little gay. No.
I think he said everyone's at least 11% gay.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. Yeah. But I'm sure that's made up. But still, yeah, it's very funny. Yeah. But then again, maybe, I don't want to let him off the hook, but maybe it was even the stick is gay, and they just needed a rhyme. So way, yeah, you know, I don't.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like saying the same thing twice, like gay and swing that way. You know, that was like, I don't even know where that came from, to be honest, but that is not something I even hear people say anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like an old cliche that people just stop saying.
Yeah. Is it like discriminating against and disparaging unnecessarily left-handed batters? Is that what it's from? Being like,
gosh.
Whoa, that guy bats on a different side of home plate than all the rest of us. Could it be that? That's crazy. And also, who cares? Like,
wow.
I don't know. Anyway, but I just like swing. I just don't. What would it be? Like a saloon door? There's nothing else I can think of. And also, what a stupid thing to come up with. Like, yeah. I hate left-handed people. I know what I'll do. Everybody that plays baseball is supposed to use the same hand. That's just strange to me.
Yeah.
But who cares?
It's always kind of surprising to learn how phrases like that even ones that we use every day, like where they actually came from, originated from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's weird and some stuff gets lost, so you want to be able to connect the dots. The person explaining it, which you're like, trust me, it was this. And you're like, why was it ever that? Like, don't get bogged down. It was this, then it was this. Now we have what we have today.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's not an evolution. There's so many siblings. But I think that's so fascinating in general, unless it's unsatisfying. And I'm like, dude, I should have never looked.
Yeah. It can be really interesting too when it's just like somebody said it the wrong way, so then people started saying it the wrong way too.
Yeah, I think that's really common. Someone just like, don't correct them, roll with it.
Yeah.
Or like, if you're the ultimate yes man, like don't correct them, roll with it, and start saying it that way. Start using it in the sentence immediately. That's very funny. So make them feel normal. Say it wrong too. Yeah. Dang. Well, this is a fun song. I think it like led to some fun conversation, even though
definitely.
You may just be indulging me doing this one. I really wanted to do it, and you were like, all right.
I mean, I do like, learning about new genres, and it's some good conversation came out of that. So, and we're not done yet. Would you? Do you feel like going first, or?
Yeah, I don't mind. And nice segue. I think the way that it, at least the time it came out, and there's no real way to tell going forward, but you can kind of safely predict that it starts very disarming, and not in a comforting way, and disarming in a way of being like surprising, like a sneak attack.
Yeah. Like, listen to this.
Yeah, just being like, all right, why'd you say that? Like, why did you write that? Why is that your favorite part? And you did it 3 times. So it starts and you're just like, or some people would even be angered by it and or skip it. Who knows? I guess if you have a problem with lyrics like that, I don't know what rap you're safe listening to.
Yeah.
Like I said as a joke earlier, I can't be homophobic. I'm too busy being sexist. That's a good defense to the first crime you accused me of.
Okay.
Like, for whatever reason, historically, rap has just had a pass. Kind of like in this country, you're not in it, but they pray before a lot of sessions of Congress. It's just a historical thing. They've gotten a pass for a long, long time. And using the word from the second half of the first line is just something that rap has gotten a pass for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think the way it starts off with that, and it's just like, wait, what now? And then the way it stays kind of driving, it's short, like you said, it goes by so quick, and it talks about really a very small, cliche, common trope list of things that is in a lot of rap.
Yeah.
Like, if stick is slang for guns, then there's guns. There's, I'd love to make $100 million. I want to have sex when I want sex. If I get the least little urge, I'm trying to fulfill that urge. And there's hot girls I'm aware of, and I would love to imagine that I'm on their same level. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Or that they'd be lucky to have me even. And then I admit I love women, but I don't trust them. Just all the same stuff. And I think it's so confident and young and juvenile. And I don't mean that as an insult. It just is not, this had better not win a Pulitzer. This is no To Pimp a Butterfly.
Right.
So I just think that it's all very textbook rap, and to me a nice introduction, a good way to get my feet wet in UK rap, Central C, especially. I've spent a lot of time recently on his Spotify, but I think this is not a hard one. I just wanted to mention how I came to the conclusion that it's a fight song.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, the only possible argument against fight song that I don't think quite gets it there to love song is that it's named after a person. The song, it's kind of like, in some very specific way, trying to shout out a person, but certainly not in a loving way. There's a level of admiration, perhaps, though, not so sweetly said, for Doja Cat, and also Cardi B. But he's also got someone that he's with that is gay, so there's multiple women in his life, or there's at least one, and he wants more. So that's not super romantic from my perspective, and it is, like you said, very confident and braggadocious, which is a word we've used to describe this type of song, here and there, and very upbeat and almost violent, kind of pushing that. So I have to agree completely and say fight song.
Nice. Yeah, I think we nailed it. Yeah, I was thinking as once you started talking that the ladies love that. I mean, the way to get a woman's attention is to let her know that you're interested in her as well as multiple other women. So yeah, it's very, in a way, to be like, Doja Cat, and then and Cardi B, like whatever, you know. Like, oh man, I'm telling you, that's the way to win a woman over, is to let her know that you don't really care that much. You take just kind of any woman, yeah. So it can, yeah, I agree. It's not enough to get it there to be a love song.
Right.
But still a fun one. I mean, I don't know. I admit that it's probably not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I like different accents. I'm amazed by them, and then to hear, I don't know. I just, for all of the stereotypes that I think in this country are mostly good, considering this country fought a really bloody war to be independent from that specific country, we seem to have a lot of respect and reverence for the United Kingdom, and it's just interesting to be like, and also they rap, some of them, you know? Like, I just don't think people think of that. People think of like powdered wigs and royalty and the guys in the red coats with the giant fuzzy hats, and like all the old prim and proper things that Monty Python made fun of.
Yeah.
Like we have that in mind, and then there's a guy in front of a Lamborghini that matches his sweatsuit, and he raps, and you're just like, what, he's British? Wow.
Yeah, it's cool to experience and learn about.
Mm-hmm.
And a fun one. So I think it was a good pick.
Dang, well thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Me
I
too.
hope that you all enjoyed it.
Yeah, we really do. And hopefully, if we put you on to Central C, you can be like, yo, there's this new kind of rap coming. It's UK rap, but they call it drill over there, you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's what they call it, don't worry about it. And then you can be like in on it. So, I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. But for real, yeah, let us know if you can help us out with any of the slang for real.
Yeah, we're trying our best.
And if you make up something that seems reasonable, I won't double check it. That probably is what it means.
Yeah,
Very
facts.
So, anyways, let us know, and we appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cam, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Chris.
Of course.
We'll talk to y'all next week.